Okay, as I was saying, today I'm going for a recording for Bridge Academy, which is going to happen tomorrow. From there, I'm going to Madurai for a few days. So, 29th class we won't have, and 5th and 6th we have our examination, February 5th and 6th. We have our examination, so 3rd I'm leaving. So 3rd class we won't have. 3rd and 5th class we won't have. Okay, so Shweta will be informing you about that. Okay, so now we know this line, anchor to the bottom. இங்க பார்க்கலாம், அந்த எலி ஜாலியா தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. Prema? From the anchor to that. எலி ஜாலியா தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. Okay, first we will set the top. Okay, after that we'll come to this hole later. So now, top, from the top to this, even then it's going farther away. We'll take the top higher. Now we'll take this higher. Hope you understand what I'm doing. If anybody is confused about what I'm doing, is there anybody who is confused about what I'm doing? It's getting broken, or the conversation is not continuous. I'm talking about other things, but the drawing is going on, right? So first I'm going to I did this box. Forget about the hole out there. I did this box, and that's the light source. If I keep the light source here, the shadow goes well beyond the paper. Okay, so it goes well beyond the paper. Okay, so we don't want that to happen, because that's going to be very difficult to handle. So I took it up, the shadow came in. It's good in a way that you understand the shadow can be handled that way. Okay, so the shadow is going to be this. Is that understood? Do you hear me? Yeah, you do hear me. Oh, somebody can talk to me?
Sir, in the shadow falling lines போட்டுருக்கீங்க sir, அது மட்டும் explain பண்ணுங்க.
இது என்னன்னா, so let me start with this. Let's forget this point. Okay, now we established this box. Okay, we established this box and we said the box is rectangular, 90 degrees, but because the box is like that, this seems to be smaller than that. Okay, that is the board on which we have kept this board. Okay, so that now this board is a rectangle 90 degrees, but since it is going like that, this seems to be bigger than that. The board is going like that. Okay, that's the board. We won't talk about the hole. Now we keep a pole there, and top of that we are going to keep a light source. A bulb is going to be there on top. We have taken it here. Okay, that is light source. We know that. When we say LS, we mean light source. That is the anchor, right? We know that anchor. So I'm going to just put a circle there. From there, what I do is, how the board's lighting is going to be spreading. Okay, I start from there to that corner, I have drawn a line. Okay, I've drawn two lines. Let me erase that line. That is the first time that I drew, which became a bit too wide. Okay, so we don't want that. We erase that. Okay, we have erased that. Okay, now from here I drew a line here. Okay, from here. Okay, likewise, that is the end of it. From there I drew one more line. Till then it's okay? Till then it's understood? Okay. Now that is the top. Okay. So this shadow is going to fall on this. How far will it go? That is the source of light. Okay. We go to the top. We go to the top. And we go to the light source here. Go to the top and draw a line here. Okay. We go to the top, go to the light source.
So,
Yeah.
how do we determine the anchor?
I just kept it in the center. See, this is a board like this, okay? That's a board like that. Okay. So that center, we keep that and we extend it. We extend it, we want it to be that far away. If it is here, just see what happens. The shadow will be that wide, right? It will be that wide. And it will be short. The shadow will be that short. Or if you keep it here or if you keep it here, it will go out. It's very wide. So we try to keep it as far away as possible. So this will be narrow. It will fall inside the board. This is for our convenience. Got it? Got it, Hulda?
So, anchor is basically the center.
Anchor is basically the center. Basically, the center when we are doing a diagram. And let it be as far away as possible depending upon the length of the shadow, width of the shadow and the length of the shadow is concerned. The length of the shadow is going to depend upon the angle of the light source to the object. Okay? The width is going to depend upon the bottom and the anchor. The farther away, the narrower the expansion of the shadow. Understood? Yeah? Hulda, did you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So now, let me erase this well. Now we have a thing to understand. We have to draw, if there's a hole out here, okay, the board comes up to that, there is a hole there. We have to see how wide that hole's light is going to be. Light is going to fall from there. So what we do is we take it to the bottom, we take this to the bottom, okay, and we take this to the bottom. Marking, we are just marking. We are not taking it actually, just marking. So that we will know how wide it will be or how narrow it will be. That is center, almost a center line, so we don't have to worry about that. That we'll have to mark because the arrow is going to be touching that. So we'll do that. Now we know this is the width of it. Right? Now from the light source, from the light source, through this I make a marking on this. From the light source, through that point, yeah, I make a marking. Oh, that's slightly off. So, that is the line. I make a marking on that. Okay? So I keep it there. So that is how it is going to go. Why is it going like that? I think it went too narrow. Okay. So from here, through the top point here, I make a marking. That is the marking. Okay? Now through that also I'll have to make a marking. It takes a weird shape. Okay. That is going to be the hole. Is this right? Yes, it is right. It is right. Okay. It's right. If it looks like that, that's how it looks like. Yes.
So from the light source, we have to draw a line through the edges of the hole. We'll get the shape, right? Shadow.
Yes. I see. Okay, let me explain this. This is a negative space. Now we have taken that out. So that's going to be light. This is going to cast the shadow. So that is the shadow area. Okay? So now if we have a board here, say, okay, we'll just draw a thumbnail. If we have a board here, and we have this form here. This is going there. Okay? So that will go there, that will go there, means this will go there, and that's going there. From here we have an arrowhead. Okay? Now, so that is the anchor point. Anchor point is our judgment. We get it closer, it becomes too narrow. We take it too far away, it becomes too long. Okay? So, and depends upon the height of the pole. That is the light source, LS. That is the anchor. So from here, this. From here, now this is a positive space, isn't it? That is a positive space. Why we call it a positive space? Because that is what is going to cast the shadow. That is that part of it. Okay? Now here, where will it come? We drop a perpendicular from there, that sharp point, and we extend it. We'll come to the shadow. Now from here we draw a line. Here, from here we draw a line through the top of it. And we have drawn a line from here. Okay. Drawn a line from here. This has come up to this. Now we have to see how far this goes. How far this goes.
சார் லைன்ஸ்லாம் ரொம்ப லைட்டா இருக்கு சார். ஸோ கொஞ்சம் டார்க்கனா வரைஞ்சா நல்லா இருக்கும் சார்.
இந்த இது பரவாயில்லையா?
அது ஓகே சார். இப்ப
இப்ப வரைஞ்சிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறதா அது பேனாவே போட்டுறேன். ஏன்னா ரொம்ப சிறுசா இருக்கிறதுனால பேனாலே போட்டுறேன். என்னன்னா அதுதான் அந்த போர்டு. அந்த போர்டு வந்து அப்படி கூர்மையா இருக்கு. இந்த இடத்துல ஒரு ஹோல், we made a hole here, no? We are keeping it there and checking how to get the. So that is the light source pole, that is the anchor, that is the light source. We know that. Okay, light source from a point. Now this point is here. This point, as it goes there, no, it will be somewhere there. Okay, that comes there. We have dropped a perpendicular line. From here, we draw that line to get the shadow of this. Okay? This has to be done, so that point has to be done. So we drop a 90 degrees and then we draw a line like that. We have done that, and from there we draw a line there. Now from here we draw, I'm doing this approximate. From there we draw that. Is that understood? From here we go to this point. Yeah? From here we go to that point and cut it there. That will be the board shadow. That will be the board shadow. That is understood, right? So the same thing we are doing negative. This is let me sharpen my pencil before I do the shadow. This is the board. That is the board shadow. Okay, that is the board shadow. This is the hole. That is the hole light. Hole has a light, right? Hole becomes a light. Light will come through. So we are going to make a shadow here. Let me do the shadow, then you will understand why I had to do this madness.
Sir, once can you tell one second. How did the points of the hole you have determined it on the board?
That's why I did this.
No. In the above picture, you just did the hole.
Yes. You know,
Here I want to know.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, can you switch it off? Yeah. Okay. Hold on, you'll have to switch off your mic. Yeah, okay. Yeah. See, we have cut this and I've kept it here. So if I want the shadow of this, there are 3 points from the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. No, that is the cutout. Right? That is the cutout. So there is, from the cutout, there are 3 points. One is this, one is this, one is this. One is this, one is this, one is this. This I can't determine for this because this is on the ground level. So I draw a 90-degree line like that. And I say 1, 2, 3. Okay, so from here I draw 1. That is the second point I draw 2. I'll come to this. That's the third point I draw 3. Done? Okay. Now we are going to the negative area. So I draw one line to the bottom. Because that is on the ground level, my radiating lines will have to be from the ground level. Done? Okay. So I am drawing that to the ground level, that point. I am drawing that to the ground level, that point, I am drawing that to the ground level. So from here, so I have 3 points, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is that understood? Hulda? Or is it still? Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, so now I'm connecting that and that and the anchor. Okay? So that point, I'm coming to that. I come to that point and I connect that. Now I come to this point and I connect that, but that I can determine only after I get the light. Okay, now I want this. I have drawn 1, 2 and 3 lines. Now I go to the light source and I go to the top. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Done? Okay. So, from here, I draw 2 from the top. No, like from there to this line that came from here. That's the corresponding line. With this line, I'm going to this light source, there, light source, there. Okay, that comes. That point is determined. From now I have this line. That is what is important for me. I go there and I come to that point and I pinpoint it here and I connect it like that. Yes? No? Okay, let me do the light and shade. No, Hulda, you are not convinced. Huh?
So,
You
I
bit
understood how you cut that. My doubt is from the baseline of the board
Yeah.
to the point. Can you name the point right? Can you name the points 1, 2, 3, 4? So I'll tell what points I have doubt. No, on the board. Here.
On this. Okay.
Not. You have marked the cutouts
That's
of
the
points.
light. Yeah.
Can you number the points?
Here on this.
No, sir. Down on the
Here.
shadow. Yes.
Okay. So I will call it. You'll have to switch off
so
your.
that one, sir. Point that.
No, you'll have to switch off. Yeah, I'll do that. You'll have to switch off your
My
mic.
doubt is how did you space out, like from the board to this point? You have drawn the line, but how did you space out where the shadow starts?
It's slightly. I deliberately made it slightly deviant so that if doubts have to emerge, they emerge. Now, I wanted this to happen anyway. Huh? Okay, so I'm going to draw the extent of the board. I'm going to draw the extent of the board here. That is the maximum extent of the board on which the standing board is. This is the horizontal board. Huh? I will take it up to that. Oops. I will take it up to that. Don't worry about delay and things like that. We have enough time. With this will have to go on for another 2 classes, and then we slide out to perspective. So whatever doubt you have now is something that's going to help us later. Huh? Okay, so that is the board. Okay, that is the board. Okay, so now I'm going to have a board here. Okay, that is going to be the board. So naturally I'll have to connect it to that. Okay, a bit narrow, but anyway, okay. If what I'm doing doesn't make sense, stop me. Till then, let me keep going. Let me do whatever I'm doing. But if what I do doesn't make sense, stop me. Okay? So let me go to this. Let me make it slightly narrow. Okay. How am I making it parallel? I'm using these lines on the scale to get it. Okay, that is understood. Okay, so if the light source, okay, we'll keep it at the center because this is closer. This half will be bigger, look bigger than that half. So I'm making this slightly away. The center is convenient for a diagram. That's the reason why we take the center. It can be anywhere. Like light source can be anywhere. Like why should it be in a certain place alone? Okay, so now I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'll come to your point, Hulda. In Hindi, they use a very nice word to say, hold your patience, which goes like sabar kar, sabar kar, Hulda sabar kar. Okay, now I don't want the shadow to go any greater. Okay, so let it be maximum. Okay, so let it be maximum means that will be the maximum. Okay, that is the point. That is the light source. I'm going reverse. Okay, so now to get this point, we come from there to that, right? Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. From there to there. Yeah. So it comes to that point. Now we connect these two. This point and that point. Actually, because my hand is in there, the focus doesn't. Focus falls on my hand, and because my hand is dark, you don't get that light. Now it's fine. Okay. So everyone, Hulda, do you understand this? Hulda, do you understand this? Any doubt in this? Okay. Now, you are asking me, when this jumps up, when this is not on the ground, how do you make this corresponding dots? I think that's exactly what you are asking me. Right? Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, this board is on the ground. Now I'm going to cut this board up to that. Okay? I'm going to cut that board up to that, and I'm going to make it hang. I'm going to make it hang in the air. Now, how are you going to show this gap where the light will fall, and how you are going to determine that line where the shadow will fall, is what you are asking. Okay, now this is hanging above this board. So, there are certain things that we have. We have this board, we have this light source. These two are the most important things as far as generally talking. But there is a third point which is also very, very important, which is the board on which the cast shadow is going to fall. Okay, that board is there. That is the cast shadow board. Now, this is not shifting, it is just floating there, floating steadily. Chick, it's pakka. Or maybe it is hanging from a chain. Okay, that's. So this line is determined. There is no doubt about these 2 points. This line is determined. Okay. Now this point will determine a point of shadow. This point, that point. This point determine the point of this shadow. That point from the light source determine that point. Okay. So now this point will determine a particular point depending upon the light source, right? So I am going like that and I am cutting it here. So I go there, I go to the light source, okay, I go to the light source and I cut it there. These lines, I'm not going to erase them completely because we need them for reference. These lines are irrelevant to state of fact, okay, because we have got the shadow. Now that will cast the shadow. Yeah? Okay. Now we'll just say we have that and we have a. Where are you? Okay, so we have this line. Okay, the board is cut like that. The board is cut like that. Because of that line, no, we got that line coming to the ground. We got that line coming to the ground. Huh? That's how we have to elevate. Okay, so now if we take a line from the light source to the corner of the triangle and mark it here, that is where we are marking, right? And we have two more points, right? That goes down to there, and we draw that line to that point. We bring it to the ground level. First we have to bring it to the ground level. No matter what is where, we bring it to the ground level. We have done that, okay? From the light source, we have to get it there, comes here. This goes all the way up to that. That will be the shadow of the arrowhead. Okay, let me not leave it. Let me complete it, Fulda, like, or else Fulda will get hold of my throat. Yeah. Is this floating thing understood? Okay, so the same thing can be applied like this. That's the light source. Okay, and there is a, where shall we do it? We'll change the light source. So much paper going waste here. Okay. Cheap. Okay, that is the light source. That's the anchor. Okay, we have a sphere here. Okay, we have a sphere here. So that will be the center point. Okay, that will be the center point. So we do that. Okay, that will be the top point. So that will be a elliptical shape, right? So that will be the shadow. The shadow will go to the edge. Huh? The reflected light will be only at the bottom where the paper will reflect the light. The paper will not, this ground will not reflect the light there. No? It will reflect the light only here. Okay? So, is this understood? Okay? Now, I'm going to draw a ball here, which is floating. But if it is anchored, it will be anchored there. So this line will be constant. Huh? That line will be constant, but this will be different. That will be different. The shadow will be there. So if there is a ball out here, which is floating, we get the center point, drop it. Parallel to that, we drop it. Okay? And we say it is anchored there. If we say it's going to be here, then we drop it here, and then we draw that line. You know, the ball is here instead of there. Okay? So the ball is farther away, there. Okay, there. It is there means you say it is that far away. Do you understand the anchoring of it? So the shadow will move like that. There is a small ball here, okay? So that shadow will be that. That shadow will be corresponding to that. That shadow will be there. This shadow, corresponding to that shadow will be here. If there is a ball here, floating, that shadow will be there. Okay, we understand that. Now we'll go to that page. Okay, we have about 10 minutes. We'll just go to this. Now this is understood why it is here. Yeah, anybody still has a doubt? Okay, so thank you. And we will definitely be going through this again. Because this is what we are here to learn. Light and shade, color, perspective, drawing light and shade perspective, grading. That is what art is all about. Let me tell you this. Huh? Okay, you have understood the theory of it. You have understood, okay, the logic of it, not the theory, you understood the logic of it. But when you draw it, you're going to have problem. If you don't have problem, fine. You know, because we have this habit of, like if you're going to be drawing a line, I have drawn a small sketch out here. I draw a small sketch out here. Okay, and then I have to darken it, okay? So while I'm going from here, when I'm doing that, I don't look at the point, I look slightly ahead. That is how the line will flow. I have to look slightly ahead where the pencil is going to move next fraction of a second. Not at that moment, right? Isn't it? We think slightly ahead. Here too we think slightly ahead. We should not. But it's our habit. So, instead of solving the problem here, we try to go to the next point and it becomes very confusing. That's the reason it becomes confusing. How to solve that? You have to copy slavishly. Once we have understood this, we don't want to be going through this meticulous slavery sort of a shadow, light and shadow. Okay, fine, done. Let me go to the next lesson. No, I'm sorry, no. That's not what we can do. We have to complete this artwork like a slave. Okay? Almost our time is over, but let me just complete this artwork so that I can post it complete. Okay? So, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you have this work to do. Okay, you have this work to do. Not just this, we have done 2-3 things, right? We have done 2-3 things. You can choose other objects like maybe an apple, what else can we choose? A pencil, an eraser, a pencil and an eraser, and give it light and shade, no? The previous page, the previous page. Give it the light and shade and see how it works. How successful you are able to control the light and shade. It has to become light. It has to become light, right? Of course, yes, we know that it has to become light. It has to become light in a certain way, right? It can't become light randomly. It has to gradually become light. How do we do that? This is just an exercise they are trying to explain. Why should I have? This is the practice that we are taking. Only by doing it like this, we'll be able to do our artworks right. go to my Facebook page and maybe you can go to my YouTube channel, and there'll be one light bulb. Light bulb in the sense the old incandescent light, the glass bulb that we used to have. Now they're all plastic bulbs. The LEDs are plastic. The glass bulb that we used to have. I have a drawing of that. Just go and see. I don't know if I have a video. I don't think I would have done a video because it took me about 7-8 hours to do that. In spite of our class time lapse, now it's over. In spite of that, I want to go and complete this because I want to show you that you have to be this patient. If you are not this patient, your works are not going to be good. Okay. Do we understand this? Oh, naturally. This will also be dark. My next class is going to be, meaning I have a class at 2 o'clock. My next class is going to be a discussion on surrealism. Like how, why, and what's the basic idea. Do we get this? Okay. So day after tomorrow we are not going to be having classes, but you have enough work to do, right? I will be posting these things, the 3 pages that we have done. So generally what I do is, when we do an artwork like this and the things have come out, what I do is I keep a paper there. Okay, I keep a paper there, and
சார் சார் இந்த லைட் சோர்ஸ்லேருந்து வர ரேஸ் அந்த ஆங்கர்லேருந்து வர அந்த லைன்ஸ் வந்து கொஞ்சம் டார்க்கராக ட்ரா பண்ணிட்டு போஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க சார். ஐ மீன் பென்ல ட்ரா பண்ணிட்டேன். ஆமா சார், ஆமா. பண்ணிட்டு தென் அந்த பாயிண்ட்ஸும் பென்ல மார்க் பண்ணிட்டு.
I'll have to make it ABCD or point 1, 2, 3, 4, right, Hulda?
அது கூட பெட்டர் தான் சார்.
Okay. Okay. சரிம்மா. Okay. சரி, க்ளோஸ் பண்ணிடலாமா நம்ம?